Good evening. Today we're going to be discussing the logos and markings and some marketing. So we're going to go over all the details of where to find the logos for RealtyPath, how to disclose it, what are the state rules on using those markings, how to create logos and designs and all that stuff. So we'll start off going over some of the basic rules. So as you can see here, we are looking at the Utah Code 162-2F-41H. And so I'm going to read through this and we'll explain it. So, except as provided for subsections 2 and 3, a licensee shall not advertise or permit any person employed by or affiliated with the licensee to advertise real estate services or property in any medium without clearly and conspicuously, remember that, identifying in the advertisement the name of the brokerage with which the licensee is affiliated. The division may not bring any action for enforcement of this subsection after the expiration of 4 years following the occurrence of the violation. So, first off, as a real estate agent and being new into the industry, you do need to disclose with which brokerage you are associated with. So, meaning you are with RealtyPath, you need to disclose that you are a RealtyPath agent. So, when it is not reasonable for the licensee to identify the name of the brokerage in an electronic advertisement, the licensee shall ensure the electronic advertisement directly links to a display that clearly and conspicuously, there it is again, keywords right there, identifies the name of the brokerage. So if there's some reason why it could not be displayed, there needs to be an immediate transfer to that next location. Maybe if it just showed your face and then they can click on it for more details, but it reverts them to a place that would then disclose which brokerage you're with. Okay. There are some exceptions. So a licensee is not required to identify the name of the brokerage with which the licensee is affiliated if A, the licensee advertises a property not currently listed with the brokerage with which the licensee is affiliated. The licensee has an ownership interest in the property, and, that's key term, and, the advertisement identifies the name of the individual licensee as owner agent or owner broker. So there is an exception. If you're selling your own property and you're displaying it's an owner agent and it is not listed with the brokerage that you're affiliated with, then you don't have to disclose it. It's a very rare thing. I don't see why you'd want to do that, but that would be one exception. So now the name of the brokerage identified by a licensee in an advertisement shall be the name of the brokerage as shown on the division records. So you can't minimize it or make an acronym or anything like that unless whatever it shows on the division is what you do need to disclose. So a team, group, or other marketing entity with which includes one or more licensees shall be subject to the same requirements and restrictions with regard to the advertising as an individual licensee. Meaning, if you have a team, let's say the elite team, and you are trying to market your items, maybe you have a team trailer, for example. What do you do with that? You still have to disclose your brokerage as if it were an individual agent. Okay. If the licensee advertises a guaranteed sales plan, the advertisement shall include in a clear, conspicuous manner a statement that costs and conditions may apply. This is one that people are getting a lot of in trouble with. They're saying, hey, I'll sell your house for free or something. You need to actually have something that says that there's conditions, terms, apply, something asterisk with that. So same thing with television advertisements. So going back to this, you have to disclose your brokerage in writing. If it's on the radio, you have to disclose with which brokerage you're affiliated with. Now, you may be getting swag and other items, like maybe it's a t-shirt. Would that mean you need to get the logo on there as well? Maybe you have a team logo and you put it on the front. somewhere on your shirt you do need to have the Realty Path logo. Maybe it's on the sleeve or something. And remember what it said is it needs to be clearly and conspicuously identified. So if it's so tiny that no one can make it out, then you're not staying in the regulations of the state. Okay. Some other scenarios with which this may arise is flyers. If you're doing an open house flyer, or if you're putting anything on your car. Now, where it gets to be tricky in some cases is digital media. The written print makes sense. If you have a poster, banner, billboard, all those things, okay, yeah, we put our logo on there, it makes sense. But it's the same thing that goes for social media. So there's going to be a few instances, and I'll kind of give an example. We'll just say, I'll use the same name I use a bunch of times, John Smith. So John Smith is a real estate agent, and he goes to an open house. At that open house, he decides to do a walkthrough of the house and do a video tour. He's walking through, and he puts that on Facebook. When he puts that on Facebook, what does he have to do to make it compliant as disclosing his brokerage, or does he? So what would be sufficient would be one of the following items. In that post, it clearly and conspicuously says brokered by Realty Path, or an agent at Realty Path, or this listing is listed by Realty Path. That would be in the comments, or not the comments, but in the description. Another thing you can do is you can have an overlay. So that is the logo of Realty Path, just kind of like in a corner, like you can see in the video right here. Maybe I just have it placed down here, where the Realty Path logo is just displaying contiguously as you're walking through that property in that video. You can have a hashtag Realty Path, something that ties it to the specific brokerage that you are promoting. This goes for simple things. If you are sharing on, maybe it's a personal page. Let's say you have a business Facebook page, now you have a personal page. On your personal page, you're sharing some memes that are real estate, related. They're really funny, but like, hey, if I can't think of a joke right now, but let's just say it's a funny meme, and they are bringing that in, and they're saying, hey, check out this funny meme. Hey, you're looking for more jokes or someone to help you sell a home? I'm your guy. That is an advertisement. Even though it's on your personal page and it's kind of made lightly as like a joke and stuff like that, it would be construed as an advertisement, and you can get in trouble for that type of activity. So some of those items can become a little vague on social media, but you do want to make it crystal clear your affiliation. And so if there's any questions, always reach out to one of the brokers. You can reach out to myself, Linda, or agent support, and saying, hey, is this kosher what I'm doing? Is this acceptable? If there are any questions, it's better to ask than to go ahead and do something and it not be in compliance. For instance, we had an agent who had this banner, a tent banner, and so they did not disclose on there that they were a Realty Path agent. So they had to go back and then add in that Realty Path agent logo to their design. And so it makes it easier if you do this stuff up front. Don't feel stupid, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to be embarrassed. It's not a problem. A lot of people ask these questions. Just be sure to reach out to us. Okay. So with that, I just wanted to show you guys again where to find the logos. So if you come into your Realty Path library and you come under, you can go under Documents down here or Documents right here. So we'll go to the Document Library. You'll find the tools right here, and you're going to go to Logos. This is the folder that will hold all of our logos and color scheme. So what you're going to be looking for is if you're doing any sort of video, An example you can do is use one of these. So we'll go ahead and pull this up. So let's just say you have a video content and you didn't want to do an overlay, but here's an exit video, a logo animation. You can put it at the end of your video, and then now you are covered by being compliant with your mark and everything. So, all right, so what if you wanted to do an overlay? Well, you're going to look for transparent. You see this label right here? There's different colors and sizes and designs for what you're looking for. So maybe if you just wanted the black one or different designs, you can pull that down and preview it. So we'll go ahead and just preview this one. And it's not going to show up because it's clear, but we'll go ahead and preview this. So here it's previewing this. This is transparent, meaning you're not going to see the background. You'll see just the logo itself. And so you're not going to see a little white box down here in the corner if you're placing it. So like if you were down here in your video, you wouldn't see the white. You would see the black and the blue. And so that's going to look a little bit more professional. And it's not going to block out some important aspects if you're walking through a home or something like that. So you can find all of these here on the logo Realty Path folder. So now, what if you want to create your own logo and concept? Maybe you are creating a team, or you just want to have an extra little design. So you are more than welcome to do so. You do need to get approval if you're doing any logo changes of Realty Path. And if you are promoting your own logo, you just need to verify with us that it is okay to present that logo as part of the brokerage. So now, coming back into that, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to introduce you guys to something called Fiverr. So Fiverr is an option for you to go and find some freelancers to create you a logo. So for instance, I ran a team. I still do. It's the M-Field team. Mine is focused on veterans and first responders. It's kind of like a community group of veterans. And so I made my logo kind of military-esque, where we have some fun with that, as I served in the military, in the Army and the Air Force. And so let me give you a couple examples of what that looks like. So here I've got some logos right here. So as you can see, I created the M-Field team, and I've got the camo, and I've got a few different color schemes here. But I disclose Realty Path LLC. And so I am clearly marking the brokerage that I am associated with here. Okay, so that needs to go on everything. I did have a time where I ordered shirts, and they actually cut out this portion at the bottom, and they weren't placed on the shirt. So I had to go and get the Realty Path logo added in afterwards, embroidered. But those are things that you do need to make sure that take place, that you are disclosing the brokerage itself in your logo if you're going to do anything like that. So let me give you guys a couple other examples of some logos. So so I also have so there's just my regular red and gray scale, which I use quite often as well. Again, I'm disclosing the brokerage down here. It's kind of hard to see with the gray background, but against the white, it pops a lot more. So now you can, as I showed you guys the animation logo for Realty Path, I created my own as well. I'll show you guys what that one looks like. I did a few fun ones, like I did a basketball one, because I'm just a basketball fanatic, and so this part of a video I did, and it just puts my logo together, and there it shows up like that. So as you can see, there's other ones too, logo animation. So this is my standard base one. And looks like we're having some technical difficulties with downloading that. Let me try it one more time. well, I guess you guys won't be able to see the normal one. But the animation logos are a great thing to place at the end of your video and can be utilized multiple times. And so that will disclose the brokerage that you can pull from realtypath.com. If you want to create your own, you can. Now, if you wanted to create your logo, my logo, I actually hired someone through Fiverr. So this is the organization I'm telling you about. So if you have no idea like how to do any logo designing, you can hire someone out here. So you can just put logo design. And then you're going to search for freelancers who will charge different things, and you can see some of their logos and styles and see what might fit you. Maybe you want to have a little bit more, crisp like this, or you want it to be a little bit more colorful and fun like this. You can choose different types of styles that people create. The one thing I will say is you want to find someone who's created similar styles you want, because it's an art. And so it's hard to get somebody else to create a style that's different than their style. So let's just say if you wanted to be on the cheap end, this person's got 63 reviews, 4.9. Let's look at their content here. You can go and see they have all these different colorful things. Okay, sounds great. So if that sounds good to you, you'll get one, HQ concept, a JPEG, PNG, 3D mockup, plus three revisions, plus high resolution. Now, what you don't get in this base level is logo or a vector file. So a vector file is going to be where it's going to be outlined so they can pull the whole thing off, and then they can place it onto other items, which is going to be important in most cases. And so if you click on like standard or premium, you're going to see the whole items that they will offer there. So for $75, you can get 4 concepts. That means they'll give you 4 different designs. And then you'll get support PNG, JPEG, source, and vector files, and social media kit. So social media kit is going to give you some overlays like on the ribbon of your Facebook page. So let me actually pull that up to give you guys an example. All right, so it's thinking I'm a spammer, so 1 second. All right. So what it's going to do is create a bunch of different content, and then you can utilize that for your backdrops and everything. So like here you can see like a top 250U car. So it'll create something like that with your design, and other templates that would assist you in doing a reel or stuff like that. And so you can get quite a bit for very small fee here. Okay. Now, some people ask, well, how do you protect your logo? In most cases in real estate, you're going to be using your personal name, so you're not going to get a lot of people trying to steal your logo concept. You can do a state trademark. Unless you're national, you don't really need to do a federal trademark, and that's very costly and time-consuming. But with the state, I think it's $50 or $59 for a trademark application, and then it protects you in the state. Pretty simple. But this is a great way to get your design put together. But going back to like if you want to do logo animation, you can put in here logo animation. So here you can see some different styles. Let's click on this first person and see what they have. They can put some sound in it. There's some stuff from Google, different other, concepts here. So usually what you'll do is you'll tell them what's your style, what you want to, you give them some basic concepts of what you want your design to look like for them to understand. And so really you can get quite a bit done for a minimal cost right here. So the more complex it is, the more expensive it'll be. Versus my regular logo animation versus the one I did with the basketball guys, The basketball one was more intense and there's a lot of changes. That one cost me more. But really, with a small fee, you can get both of those and look very professional online if you wanted to do that. But we already have those items readily available for you from RealtyPath. You don't have to create your own logo. And most people are going to be more concerned about who you are. But if you are doing a team and you wanted to have some logo, this is a great option to do so. So let me go ahead and show you guys a couple other things here. So if you guys are looking at marketing items, let me see if I can pull up a video where it shows an overlay. I'll go to my old YouTube channel. So as you can see, one of the things I made that I did made it simple. In my picture, I actually put the for sale sign with RealtyPath. So whenever I do that, it will display right off the back. So on my for sale signs. Right here, what you've got going on is I've got my Jump Into a Better Home, which is my slogan, tagline. But as you can see in this video, I've got my overlay. So this overlay or watermark shows my logo, and then below it has RealtyPath on it, so it's clearly defining it. And then in the descriptions, I always will put stuff about hashtag RealtyPath when I post it as well. But whenever you're doing those items, you do need to make sure you've got that shown there. So that's an example of what that will look like. And also on your websites, this is another key important aspect. If you're using the RealtyPath websites, it will be automatic, but you need to make sure you do have the logo showcasing onto the platforms. So usually the website creators will require that because they know that you'll get into trouble. But if you're going to a custom builder that may not be familiar with the real estate regulations, you will want to reach out to them and tell them, hey, I need to have my real estate brokerage shown in here. So anyways, we've gone over the logos and signage and marketing. So some ideas for marketing concepts we went over in one of our other videos for the JumpStart, and that's prospecting do's and don'ts. But some display items we talked about, you can get a billboard. There are options to have it shown irregularly, like on a blip board, where you pay a small amount and you decide the times and they'll tell you how much that costs. Or you can pay for the whole billboard and keep it consistent for months, but that's going to be more expensive. Getting your car wrapped is a great idea if you're good with that. But a trailer used for moving and it has like all the content and connections and taglines is always a great idea to have as well. There's so many different options out there to utilize your logo and signage. It does make you look professional if you are displaying professional content. That also takes you to your listing signs. RealtyPath does offer a couple of free listing signs for your current listings as you come over to RealtyPath. If you are new and you're in this program, then what you want to look at is how do you want your signs to look like. There's a lot of different options, and so if I take you guys into our library, I'm going to take you guys over to marketing and products. And then as you can see, like you've got business cards, and then in your business cards you'll have the logos and stuff like that. But if we go back here, and then there is RealtyPath signs. So here's, this is just a flyer, but here's some basic ideas of different things that are already pre-made with RealtyPath. Now if you call Sandberg Signs and you can order from anyone, but here's some templates they already have pre-made. You can customize these. You just tell them, hey, I want my picture to be on the front, which I actually suggest if you have your picture on the sign, that's more visibility rather than just your name and logo. I think you should always have that in place. The other thing is having a QR code is a great idea. I don't like to have a QR code on just my for sale signs. I like to put them on a sign writer. So if you look, here's some sign writers. That's what hangs below your traditional sign. And then on the sign writer, I like to have my name, my number. In fact, I've got one right here I can show you. So here's, if that comes in pretty clearly. So as you can see, I've got a picture of me doing my little jump thing. And I have text jump 1 to 440 jump now. That's my specialty number. And then for details. But I also have a QR code. And then that QR code, every time I get a new listing, I will update that QR code. And then that will take them directly to the website I have for that specific property. So I have it's jump 1, jump 2, jump 3, and you can change anything. You can say, whatever your name is. If it's John 1 to this number, then it will feed you, and they'll know it's associated with that property. But then if you have the QR code, then they scan that, and then that will take you directly to the website as well. And so let me give you an example. So here's one of my properties I have listed right now, and here is the website it will take people to directly. So I have the QR code and a sign writer over there. People scan it, and it takes them here, and then they will start looking at a few different things, click around a little bit, and as they click around, it's going to force them to give me their email at least, or connect with Facebook, and then I have their contact information to continue conversations. So it is really important to utilize your signage, but if you want to get more visibility and people to connect with you, logos are great and everything else, but your image is going to be more important because that's how you will be remembered. So anyways, this is a basic overview of logos, the regulations, and how to utilize that for marketing purposes. So be sure that you always display the brokerage you are with. It can be brokered by RealtyPath. It can be with RealtyPath, or it can be at RealtyPath, or it could just have, say, RealtyPath, or somewhere else it might just have the logo, and then they'll understand that you're associated with that. One thing you do need to be careful with is naming a team. If the team sounds like an independent brokerage, that's not going to fly. So you need to explain, hey, this is the team or group, something along those lines, not to create confusion with other people as well. So that is taking us to the end of our training for today. So remember those rules. Again, it is you have to have it clearly and conspicuously showing that you are associated with the brokerage. And we have all of our logos available there. There's very few exceptions to the rule, but in all mediums, when I use the word medium meaning any sort of product, device, digital media, radio concept, whatever it's being said, that you have to disclose that verbally or in writing. So that's going to be an aid to you. Again, if there's any questions, am I doing it right? Does this look okay? You can always reach out to agent support for advice, or reach out to your broker, and they will give you further guidance. So thanks for joining us tonight on this training.